having us today. As I look out at this crowd, I know 99% of you, and I know everyone in this room is a volunteer at the heart and have been, oh my goodness, I've worked with many of you, Tom with pets and Doug with trains, and gosh, the list just goes on and on and on. So thank you for all that you do and your willingness to keep this community going. I'm pretty sure every one of you in here know how to get more than 24 hours out of your day, and that's why you're here and why you're also everywhere else. And so I love people like that, and I love talking about fun things and exciting things and happy things with a great group of folks. So thanks for having us. Gosh, even Bays Mountain got out Dudney today. I thought that was pretty big. Right, Bill? Also, City Manager Chris McCarr and Mayor Scholl, you heard this on Monday. I am taking the place of Mayor Jeanette Blazier today, so you will know that you can ask harder questions today than you did on Monday, because she is the chair of our celebration this year. So Bays Mountain is 50. It is the crown jewel of our region. I think many of you in here have stories of taking your family up there, maybe even stories of field trips with you, your kids, and others, and the wonderful educational opportunities to be at Bays Mountain. So we were 50, and so what are we going to do to capitalize on the fact that we have a milestone in front of us that makes us happy? And we strongly feel that as we come out of this pandemic, Bays Mountain was always open. It was one of the few things where you could still go and feel comfortable with your family no matter what. And so we really think, okay, we've always had this escape to go to in our backyard, and now we've needed it more than ever. And so how do we kind of rally together and build momentum for the future for the next 50 years as we celebrate 50 years this year? So I want to share with you the purpose statement for the celebration committee. As I mentioned, Mayor Blazier is the official chair for the 50th year celebration, and all former mayors, thank you, have come together to champion this effort. And I do believe it is the first time in Kingsport's history that all former mayors have come together to agree on the same thing and move forward, carrying that torch and passing it on to the future. So current board, Mayor Scholl, you all are up next. But I think that speaks to the power and the meaning of Bays Mountain and how it is our happy place, and everyone wants to improve it and help it grow. So this purpose statement for that celebration committee is something I really challenge all of you to believe too. We need ambassadors every day at Bays Mountain, whether you're a staff member, a volunteer, a citizen, or even a visitor. We need these ambassadors who believe in Bays Mountain and know the good that it brings to our community and beyond. And so I just wanted to share that so that we can continue that, and everyone in here is considered an ambassador for Bays Mountain. You cannot read the names on this slide, but it's intentional because we wanted to share how many families are participating officially this year. And so we're very family focused. If you think about the two target markets we pursue at Bays Mountain, it's families and enthusiasts. And so these families, we very much want to include everyone in the family. So that's why spouses and partners are included up here, because we want everyone to know it's very family friendly, and that's how we're approaching this year. We have 7 subcommittees, and if you look at the names up there, you know that we're going to get some really good work done and make some great progress. So events, Vanessa Bennett with the Chamber is the chair of that. History, Mary Stedman. I know you all know Mary, and she is off and running and doing, oh my goodness, she has tackled so much and already made great progress. I'm not going to share too much because really the meat of this is Rob, and he's going to tell you more about what these subcommittees are doing. Jeff Fleming, I joke with him that he is the master of stats and stories, and so he's going to be a wonderful grants chair for us, and he's going to do that beyond the 50th year. Social media and PR is David Cate. He was with Times News for over 34 years, and he has taken that on the helm, and my goodness, we got some great stats to share on what we've done in just the first couple of weeks of announcing. Community service is Tony Williams, who is the founder of Reedy Creek Bicycles, so they do a lot of volunteer efforts up at the park. Education, Susan Lodahl. She also was the chair for the Centennials Educational Committee, and they're working on some very big projects. And then finally, merchandise, the fun stuff, is Denny Trey Darnell. And Denny has done a great job at getting a wide variety of things, and we're going to keep sprinkling out merchandise as the year goes, and that's just a wonderful walking advertisement for Bays Mountain. So now I'm going to hand it over to Rob Cole, as mentioned, that he's the park manager. And I think that it needs to be said, bios are easy. You read what people have done and where they graduated and where they live. But I think it's very important to know that his dream job is Bays Mountain. And gosh, if everyone could have that dream job and be that passionate every day when you show up to work, that's when important, meaningful things happen. And so I've known Rob forever, from way back from Visit Kingsport days and beyond, and I'm so honored and thankful that I get to work with you this year, because it's like showing up every day to have this new vision and new dream for Bays Mountain, and that's what we want to share with you. So Rob's going to come up and give you some of the details about the exciting things happening. Rob? There you go. Oh, sorry. In transition real quick.
So Heather's a little bit taller than I am, and technology is something I tend to struggle with. So bear with me just a moment. All right. Think we're good? All right. Just want to echo what Heather said. And man, first of all, thank you. That was very gracious. It is my dream job. And I think you guys all probably share the same passion I do. I look around this room and I see a lot of friends and familiar faces, many of which I've seen at the park, but many that I've worked with over the years. And I know firsthand what your passion is, and I know it matches mine and even probably exceeds it in some cases. The really cool thing before I get started here is Heather just showed you a slide where we have a lot of names. Man, I think one of the most awesome aspects of what we're about to do this year purely revolves around the people and the support that is shown to Bays Mountain Park throughout the years and is still shown just as strongly today. What a humbling experience to be able to represent such a destination. City of Kingsport has absolutely set the bar when it comes to preserving green space and making a stand that, yes, citizens' voice will be heard, because that's the very reason we have Bays Mountain Park and Planetarium today. Many of you have told me stories, in fact, of enjoying the park, the mountain, before it ever became a park. So you know what that transition was firsthand. You know what it looked like to have the city hear your voice. And what a magnificent bunch of leadership we had then, and we still have today. And so I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you. This is all about the people that are working behind the scenes, the volunteers that are helping, and the folks that visit the park and so wonderfully and strongly support it. Thank you. Now, if I can get the snot cleared from my nose for a minute, we'll get on with the rest of the presentation. As Heather mentioned, there's a lot of folks behind the scenes, and I'm just going to give you this is just a brief snapshot of where we are and what's ahead. And so I want to start with the history of the park. This is a good segue, right? Because I just mentioned where we've come from, and man, what a wonderful past we have to celebrate. Mary Stabman and the History Subcommittee have just done a fantastic job. Among the things that they're working on, and in fact have already unveiled, a history website that features a timeline of the park going all the way back to the creation of the dam to today. And when you get a chance, please go to our website, click on the Explore tab at the top, go down to our history page, and scroll to the bottom and find a icon that will direct you to this particular history website. And you're going to see newspaper headlines, pictures from throughout the years, artifacts, stories, and I promise you, for those of you that have shared those stories with me over the years, you're really going to appreciate this. We're also taking the opportunity to videotape those who have helped move the park from its foundational days till now, along with current staff, along with current park members, folks who have stories that are important to preserve and share about the mountain. Mary and her team have already accumulated over 8 hours worth of video in capturing this, and there is, my goodness, there are quite a few more to go. Just outstanding work on their behalf. And of course, every Thursday, and I hope you guys caught yesterday's, every Thursday there'll be a throwback piece, Throwback Thursday as we call it, on social media that will feature some part of the park's past. Here, as you can see, and I hope you were able to catch over a week ago, Barney the Bear. I'm sure that some of you remember Barney the Bear at the park, and what a draw he was for a lot of visitors back then. Yesterday was all about the dam, and can't understate how important that creation was in the development later on of Bays Mountain Park. Our education subcommittee, again led by Susan Lodahl. Folks, there are some of you that are very familiar with the education system here, former educators, maybe currently involved in some way, shape, or form. So you know that our education subcommittee, they're still busy in the classroom. They're still navigating COVID and the impacts. So we've already seen this group unveil what is going to be called, or soon to be unveiled, what is going to be called Nature Quest. That'll be essentially a scavenger hunt that will involve getting folks moving, getting out in the park, finding out things about the park that they didn't already know, or engaging them in some way that we haven't currently done. They've come up with our Trivia Tuesday, which is already launched, again on social media. Just when you thought you knew everything about the park, try again. This group's come up with a lot of fun stuff. Be sure you don't miss that. Instagram, Facebook, whatever your choice of social media platform, look for those on Tuesdays, and please do respond. It's a lot of fun. And here's the best thing. More is yet to come. Once they are through with the school period this year, late in May, they're going to turn their attention hard and fast once summer begins on some other projects. And among those, one of the items we're really excited about is the children's book. And I don't know in the park's history that we've ever had a book dedicated specifically to just children. So this one is going to be a lot of fun. I think it's, at the end of the day, going to be a real hallmark piece for the 50th anniversary and for those who have kids and grandkids. We hope to get this done in time to make it available for sale before the holidays. And I got to tell you, with the way this group is moving, they'll get that done. Our social media and PR team, led by Dave Cate. Man, this has been an exciting development. As Heather mentioned, just since March 31st, we've seen an enormous uptick in our social media response. They've worked on our website and made it a little bit more user-friendly. Here to the left, here in the lower corner, I hope you can see that well enough, is our old calendar. It's a little bit clunky, a little bit hard to navigate. It was a good first effort, though. It was a good launch when we redesigned our website. But we've come up with a better calendar that looks more like what you and I would use today, maybe in our Outlook calendar on our computers or on a standard calendar on the wall. And it goes through each one of these days in a convenient way that is easier for visitors to understand what's going on a particular day and can better plan their visits. Also, for those of you on a cell phone, if you'll notice the upper corner there, a little bit easier to see what those events are on that particular day. Makes it a lot easier when you're planning as a family. I mentioned social media engagement. Man, our website traffic is up all the way across the board. Users, sessions, page views. Our Facebook's trending in a astronomical direction. We're up 260% in engagement, 389 new followers, and our reach is just outstanding. Instagram has really taken off. We've increased our presence there. Gained 135 new followers, and of course our engagement there is up over 4,000%. By the way, I want to also just mention part of this subcommittee is a part of our marketing team in the city. Hannah Purdy, Maxine Poole, Adrian Batara. They're supplemental to this, and they do a fantastic job driving the park social media and helping us out. They're wonderful. Heather was a key part of creating that department, by the way, and so we're very gracious and thankful for them. Every Friday, staying on the social media theme, there's top 50 things to do, right, that we're going to come up with this year. So every Friday, you're going to get a section of those top 50 things to do, and the whole goal is hopefully you, the viewer or a visitor, will find this, go out in the park and do some of these things. Maybe you do a few of them, maybe you follow along and try to accomplish all 50. I think that's a wonderful goal. But what this is also going to do is not introduce you to things at the park maybe you didn't already know about. This will also, with the right kind of following, increase our social media presence. People will go to the park, they'll take selfies, they'll enjoy their family time, and post to social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and again, further increase Bays Mountain Park's presence. Last but not least, we're partnering with Kingsport Times News on a photo contest. Actually, there's a series of promotions that we'll be doing with Kingsport Times News, but right now we just launched our photo contest where we're inviting local residents throughout the Tri-Cities, and obviously in particularly the Kingsport Times News subscription base, to submit photos in an effort to try to get a solid enough response where we have a diverse enough profile of pictures to select from in the effort to create a coffee table book. This isn't just about a photo contest. That in itself is going to be a lot of fun. And again, will help increase the park's promotional reach. But at the end of the day, and I'll get to that a little bit more later, a coffee table book with some of these pictures will be created, and again will be a special item that we'll make available at the end of the year. Merchandise. Trey Darnell and his committee have just absolutely blown it out. Some of you may have already attempted to get some of this merchandise and found it to be sold out. That's a true story, by the way. We launched on March 31st. Within 10 days, just about everything we had was gone. The designs are just amazing. The fact that we have, again, our resident base, our visitor groups that are just so intensely interested in celebrating the 50th anniversary in such a manner, because a lot of these items will be limited edition. Once they're gone after this year. And so it's exciting to see that. There's more to come throughout the year. Each month we're going to unveil new designs. Some of those are going to feature, for example, we have talked about the park's humble beginnings, starting with the dam. We're one of the few parks in Tennessee or anywhere that has a dam as a focal feature. So we're going to have a t-shirt, if I may, that will say Best Dam Park in Tennessee. Certainly we believe that, but we hope others will as well, and we're going to have fun with it. So look for more to come later, new designs dropping regularly. When we get to our events committee, Vanessa and her team have done a fantastic job of laying out a calendar of events specifically geared towards celebrating the 50th, and what a better way to kick off than focusing on the kids. It's all about families, right? We bring our kids, our grandkids to the park, or as students, we've went to the park throughout the years on field trips. And so what better way to start out than focusing on families and in specific kids? This was originally supposed to take place Saturday. Due to the weather, we're moving to Sunday. But that doesn't mean we're not going to have the same level of fun. We are. In fact, everything we were offering on Saturday is going to be offered on Sunday. We're going to have touch trucks. We're going to have food trucks available. There'll be live music. And one of the neatest things we'll do is allow the kids to make birthday cards for the wolves. Many of you recall that every time we have new wolf pups that we bring to the park, we do that in May. That means those wolf pups were born in April. So essentially the month of April is one big birthday party for our wolves. So we're going to let them make birthday cards on paper bags, and then we're going to fill those bags with goodies that the wolves can eat. A lot of meat products, some fruits and vegetables that'll be in there as well. And then we're going to hide those for the wolves to come out and find. They'll be cordoned off into some of the farther quadrants of the wolf pen. And at 4 o'clock, we're going to let the wolves loose, come into the main pen where the audience can view them, and we're going to watch as they find each one of those goodies. Going to be a lot of fun. Urge you to come out. We've planned for the crowd that we expect to have. Most of you that's been to the park on the weekends know that the weekends are already busy. So we're fully expecting a full house. We'll have overflow parking and shuttle service available. So please don't let the threat of capacity diminish your interest in attending. The wonderful thing about Bays Mountain Park is just about everything we can do outdoors, so you can safely distance. That's one of the big designs of this particular day, in fact. In May, as Heather mentioned, we have our actual anniversary date, which is May 24th. This year, May 24th, obviously 2021, we'll celebrate 50. I think it's interesting to note that that date falls on a Monday this year, just as it did 50 years ago. And so what we do in May will lead up to that special day. We'll commemorate the park's anniversary. We'll celebrate 50 years. And of course, leading up to that, the weekend prior is chock full of events, as you can see here. Each day of which will be topped off with a laser light show. And I know what you're thinking, planetarium. Actually, this one is a little different. We've never done, to my knowledge, a laser light show outdoors at the park. This is going to be spectacular. I can't emphasize that enough. With the natural background on a Saturday and Sunday night, you're not going to want to miss this. This is going to be unique and, again, a real treat. Other events, as you can see, are planned throughout the year. Guided history hikes will be available periodically throughout the coming months. Jeep Fest, Nights with the Rangers, which actually already began and in a kind of a way officially kicked off our event schedule on April 15th. Really well attended. And what this is all about is we have a lot of folks that routinely ask us about former park staff. Many of you recall Tom Bowman, Fred Hilton, David Taylor, Joe Taft. I could go on and on. And so what this does is brings folks like them, Ken Childress, and others back to the table to talk about their experiences, tell some funny stories, and answer some questions from the audience. We'll sprinkle in a few of our current staff. Obviously, there's a nice little back and forth there on the past and the present, and the past meeting the present. So April 15th, the first one went hilariously well and was really well attended. So don't miss those. VIP barge rides in August, bike rally and trail race in September, campfire tales in September, and of course we'll wrap up with live music and again a movie in October. This is just a select few of the events we have on tap. Again, please stay tuned for details. Check our website periodically. Stay tuned to social media. We'll make these announcements as we have concrete details. 50th anniversary is a wonderful time for the Bays Mountain Park. As Heather mentioned, the fundraising arm of the park to really step up in a way that it hasn't quite done so before. We're looking at being able to begin a sustained effort to attract more park members, attract donors, sponsors for the park in a way to help offset expenses, help make projects move forward. One of those projects will be that is already on the table, and in fact, I'm glad to say fully funded, but still being researched. We're still taking a careful approach to make sure we get this right. A commemorative trail that will celebrate the park's 50th anniversary. And we've not added a trail to the park in probably 8 or 9 years, maybe longer. So this is going to be a real hallmark piece. I can tell you that the excitement is there already for hikers and mountain bikers. I'd like to just give a real shout out to Tony Williams and his community service crew for this effort. They're the ones who came up with this design and the concept for this effort, polled the community and found out what they wanted to see. More Trails was part of that. And so this one is going to be a real hallmark, I think. For those of you who've been up around Fire Tower Trail, Indian Pipes, up near the Fire Tower, you know the beauty that's found in that area. And so this one is going to be pretty spectacular in that regard. Other projects that we hope to see, maybe to at least get started in this year, even if we don't complete, will be the Fox Den Natural Play Space. And of course, there's discussion about reclaiming and rehabbing our observation tower, not the fire tower. And we're talking about the observation tower that's a little bit closer to the park and a little bit easier for the public to get to, and certainly one that we can more easily maintain. For those of you who aren't aware, the fire tower is actually still owned by the state of Tennessee. And of course, those things we're really excited about and looking to finish in this year, and again have available for sale hopefully in October prior to the holiday season, is the commemorative photo book and the children's book. And again, I can't say how excited enough we are about those efforts. For those who grabbed a Centennial book, coffee table book, you know those are chock full of great memories, great stories just in the pictures themselves. You won't want to miss that. And of course the children's book again is, to my knowledge, the first of its effort in park history. I mentioned we're looking for sponsors, donors. In this year alone, you can become a legacy sponsor. That's at a total of $15,000 or more. But as we move forward, not just in this year, but as we move forward, and you can see a little menu over here to the left of what those are, ranging from $500 and up. We have several different levels where you can come on board and hopefully support the park. And we're hoping that we can retain those levels of support every year. And have folks be willing to step in and kind of fill the gap, if you will. The city does a fantastic job supporting the park. Please make no mistake about that. It is, when we just look at the last 3.5, 4 years alone, the amount of investment the city's made is phenomenal. The new road, our wastewater being connected to the city's infrastructure for the first time ever, additional parking, improvements to the nature center, and I could go on and on. But hopefully we'll have folks that will be willing to step into the gap and take care of those areas where, quite frankly, the city has a limitation on funding. We don't have a limitation on imagination and support. We know it's there and people want to do it. And so we're excited to be able to make this available. And last but not least, I'll put in a real brief shameless plug here. Chris has heard this already and Heather has too. Many of you that look across this room are already park members. Some of you are not. I want to really encourage you, if you're not, consider joining the park. If you can't even get to the park on a regular basis but want to find a way to support the park and help share this message, please consider your membership. For as low as $30 a year for an individual membership, or $50 for a family, $100 for supporting, you get free entry into the park, a certain level of program tickets and passes every visit, not just once, twice a year, every visit. So that means if you are a family member, you get up to 6 program passes every time you visit the park, and those programs are barge rides, planetarium shows, nature programs, and half off on the zip line. So please consider that. If you're already a park member, consider upgrading. If you're an individual member, consider going to family. If you're a family, consider going to supporting. Our lifetime memberships, in case you're interested, are $1,000 a piece. One time, one cost for the rest of your life. Now, if you can't do those things, again, just please remember Bays Mountain Park. Help promote us. Share our information on social media. Forward it on. Again, if you'd rather just come up and pay the gate fee, we'll still let you in. That concludes our presentation, and if anyone has any questions, I'm sure Heather